Okay, so it's Mr. Casey again, and talking about addition strategies. So many ways to solve addition problems. Now, you'll see here that I've got a number line. The first thing you need to think about is that numbers can be presented along a line. Okay? Now this one happens to go into negative numbers. We're just going to try and ignore them for the moment. But you can see here, you've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and numbers can just go along. The other thing you might have noticed, okay, is that I have got myself a wee frog. Now I want you to think about this for a second. I'm going to give you a very, very simple problem. Here I've got the problem 2 plus 2. Now, you'll notice that I've got my frog starting on the number 2 on the number line. And what I want him to do is I want him to add 2 more, or go 2 places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1 place, 2 places. Okay, so we could agree that my frog here has jumped 2 places. And where did he end up? He ended up at 4. Now, of course, that's really, really simple. Okay, but how can we use this in a practical way to solve a much more difficult addition problem? Okay, let's take something like 27 plus 48. Okay, so the first thing is, do we need a number line that goes all the way up and beyond 48, for example? The answer is no. Actually, all we need is to draw ourselves a line. So here's a line. Okay, great. Now, it's always a really good idea to start with the largest number, not necessarily the one that comes first in the equation. Okay, and all you've got to do is think, well, the number 48 can sit somewhere on a line. So you know what, I'm going to pop it there. There's the number 48, and I'm popping it on my line there. Now, I like the frog because frogs leap. If you think about a frog sitting in a pond, they leap from lily pad to lily pad to get where they want to go. And where we want to go is whatever 27 plus 48 equals, okay, or the sum of those 2 numbers, okay? Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to start our frog on the number 48, okay, and we're going to go leaping up our line until we've leapt a total of 27 spaces, okay? In order to keep track of where we are on the number line, we're going to use our knowledge of going up to numbers in friendly tens. Right, here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up 2. And the reason I'm going up 2 is because I want to get to the number 50. Now the key thing is I need to think, okay, I'm going to move 27 spaces, and so far I've only moved 2 out of my 27. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross that out and I'm going to go to that, because I've used 2 of them up. Okay? Now the next thing I could do is I could say, alright, well I'm going to go 10 now. Okay? And so now I know I'm at the number 60. And what I've got to remember is to take 10 off of here. Well, that now leaves me with 15 left there. And I might need to make my number line a little bit longer here. Here we go. Just move that up there. Messy. And, okay, so at the moment, I've gone from 48 to 50, I went up 2, and then I went up another 10 to 60, and that's working out pretty good for me. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up another 10, and that's going to take me to 70. And remember, I have to take that 10 off here, and that leaves me with 5. So that's all I've got left is to go 5. So I'm now going to go my 5. There I go. And where did I end up? Well, I ended up at the number 70 5, and that is my answer. So my frog has made a series of jumps, and I've gone from 48, I've travelled a total of 10, 20, 25, 26, 27, which is just like I said I would, and I've got to where I want to go. Okay, I'll show you another example, slightly harder numbers, okay, and we'll see how we go. Okay, so let's imagine we had 678 and I had to add 342 to it, so harder numbers. Again, I want to take the largest number possible. So here, 678 is going to be my starting point. Okay, and I'm going to, remember, I've got to travel 342 places up the number line to see where I'm going to end up. Okay, so again, here's my wee frog, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump up 2, not because this is a 2, that's irrelevant, just happens to be a coincidence, but because what it does is it takes me to 680. And in fact, just to sort of show you, what I'm going to do is change the numbers a little bit now. I'm going to change that, get my rubber in here, okay, and I'm going to make that 7, okay, but I'm still only going to jump up, there's 7, I'm still only going to jump up 2 rather than 7 because it's logical. It takes me to 680. Okay, now remember, I have to take that off of there, so I've now got 345 left. Now last time I just went up in a series of 10s, but I've got a bit better with my numbers now. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to go up, by 20, or should we stick with the same colour? I'm going to go up by 20. Okay, so here we go, 20. It don't matter that these things don't look in proportion, doesn't matter. Okay, so now I've gone up 20 and I'm at 700. So what I've got to remember now is I'm going to take 20 off of here. That leaves me 300 and, oh, terrible 5, Mr. Casey, 325. Okay. Now, as I said, I've become a pretty good mathematician now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from 700 and I'm going to go up a great big whopping 300 on my number line, because I know that's now going to take me to 1,000. And remember, I've got to take my 300 off so I can see what I'm left with. I'm left with 25. And so that's all I'm left with now. And so now I just put the last bit on that I've got, which is 25. And what that does is that takes me to 1,025. Got nothing left. And that is my answer, 1,025. And I can check that I'm right if I look at what I've got here. So I had 325, 35, 45, 47, 347. So it checks out, and that's great. Now, just like I've been doing in all of these strategy films, is can we apply this with decimal numbers? Well, yes, we can. So here we go. Let's have a look. And we don't need any special number line for decimals. Okay, we can just use the stuff that we have been using. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to write up the problem. I'm going to go 21.8. Oh, that's not a point. What am I saying? Let's try that again. 21.8 plus 56.7. Remember, I'm going to start with my largest number. So here we go, 56.7. And I'm going to put that 21.8 over here because I know I've got to use that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up 0.3. And the reason I'm doing that is because, of course, that's now going to make that 57. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 0.3 off of that, so that's 21.5. That's what I've got left there. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up 3, so that was a +2. I'm going to go up 3, and that is now taking me to 60. I'm going to take 3 off of this. It's a little bit tricky taking 3 off of this. 1.5 off. And so what that's going to leave me with is 18 and a half. Just double check myself there. 1.5 to 20, and 1.5 to 21.5. 2 1.5s. 3, so that's great. Okay. And now what am I left with? Well, I've got 18 and a half, and I'm pretty sure that I can add that most of that. So I'm just going to go add 18. Okay, and that's going to take me to 78. And what am I left with? I've got a 0.5. 0.5. So add that, and so my final answer is 78.5. Same process, travelling up a number line, using our friend the frog. Okay, so as a number line strategy, we could call that frog jumps. And you can remember to make those little jumps up the number line.